This is Channel 25 WVTT Olean. Now, from the Twin Tiers' biggest broadcast news operation, this is the 6 o'clock report with Jeff Andrulonis and Alexa Olson. Listen on News Radio 96.7 WVTT or watch on News Channel 25 WVTT television. WVTT proudly presents the 6 o'clock report.
Good evening, I'm Alexa Olson.
And I'm Jeff Andrulonis. Good evening. The big story tonight on the 6 o'clock report, New York State Police are investigating a shooting in Wellsville that they say was unintentional. Alexa.
That's right. Jeff, New York State Police in Amity are still investigating that shooting. It happened around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. New York State Police Captain Stephen Negrelli explained to WVTT what exactly happened.
On arrival, New York State troopers, Allegheny County Sheriff's Deputy, and Village of Wellsville Police found the 60-year-old homeowner, Robert Garrison, shot. He'd been shot twice with a .40 caliber handgun. Investigation revealed that his 16-year-old stepson had shot him once in the chest and once in the buttocks. I could tell you emphatically that it was intentional. It was not a reckless act.
Mr. Garrison was transported from the scene to Jones Memorial Hospital in Wellsville and then was taken by Mercy Flight to Erie County Medical Center for further treatment. Mr. Garrison is currently in stable condition. The 16-year-old was arrested, arraigned in Village of Wellsville Court, and charged with criminal possession of a weapon in the 3rd degree, attempted murder in the 2nd degree, and reckless endangerment in the 1st degree. He's being retained at the Allegheny County Jail on $50,000 bail.
In McKean County, an incident at the SPCA yesterday afternoon leaves a Bradford man facing charges including terroristic threats. Police tell WVTT Sean Lucy went to a building on Glenwood Avenue looking for his dog, but when he arrived, he was told it would cost $20 for a claim fee. SPCA employees say Lucy allegedly became irate and began screaming profanities. At one point, shoving occurred. Everyone was evacuated from the building. When employees told him police had been called, he reportedly answered they better bring their guns. He was arrested at his home on Rosedale Avenue a short time later without incident and is being held without bail following that incident in McKean County.
The Olean School Board met yesterday, and the topic of the night, whether or not to delay the sale of the now empty elementary schools. WVTT's Derek Smith was at the meeting last night and tells us exactly what this disagreement is all about.
He brought up the topic, and it kind of went back and forth between Ira Katzenstein, Michael Martello, and Daniel Harris. And the board agreed that it's up to the public's interest to figure out what to do with the buildings that have been vital to the community and how they will be used. Board member Daniel Harris of the board suggested that because they can't figure anything out, that maybe they should just postpone the discussion until they reach out to the public on exactly how they want the buildings to be used.
Maybe it would be a good idea to reach out to the public and ask them, the specific question of how they would like to see that facility, part of their community. So I guess I would move to postpone.
However, Vice President Michael Martello argues that postponing the discussion won't help figure out anything, and that the public's views will still be the same for selling the school the next few weeks.
I'm just wondering what's going to be accomplished in the next 2 weeks if we postpone it.
You're asking me?
Yeah. What are we looking? I mean, we're going to postpone it to the 21st. What are we looking to accomplish in those next 2 weeks? Well, what kind of information are we looking to find out? What are we looking to do?
Well, the final word. President Ira Katzenstein says that there is no harm in postponing the discussion because the ongoing process of selling the school will not be changed, and the motion was cleared.
Delay one way or the other is just that, and I don't see the harm in taking the steps and trying to have some degree of closure at this particular point.
Here in Olean, I'm Derek Smith, Channel 25 WVTT.
In other education news, students attending 5 area high schools will have access to special opportunities during the upcoming academic school year through a $250,000 grant awarded to Jamestown Community College. Partnering with JCC on a grant called the College Access Challenge Grant, otherwise known as the CACG, are Brockton Central School, Dunkirk High School, Jamestown High School, Olean High School, and Salamanca Central School. Now, that grant is funded through a $7 million award received by New York State from the U.S. Department of Education.
Governor Andrew Cuomo announced yesterday that the New York State Department of Health, known as the DOH, has issued new regulations to crack down on the increasingly widespread use of bath salts and other synthetic drugs. These new regulations will add dozens of new substances used to manufacture bath salts to the ever-growing list of prohibited drugs and chemicals. These regulations have been established to better ensure that distributors can no longer skirt the law by simply modifying the drug's ingredient. The regulations will increase the criminal penalties for those who violate the rules. Violators will face fines up to $500 and potentially up to 15 days in jail. According to Governor Cuomo, bath salts and other synthetic drugs pose a direct, serious threat to public health and safety, adding that he will do everything he can to remove these harmful substances from sale and distribution in New York.
According to officials in Potter County, there will be no state or federal aid coming to those affected by the nasty weather that blew through back on August 2nd. The damage reports compiled didn't include enough damage to meet criteria for financial aid. Now, later this week, Potter County Department of Emergency Services will review procedures from the event and determine what changes can be made to improve notifications and response. 3 Potter County municipalities, Coudersport Borough, Rowlett Township, and Genesee Township, operated under state of emergency following that nasty weather in Potter County.
Give your wallet a break during your lunch and visit the new cafe that recently opened in Olean. Ashley Masala has the details.
If you love dollar stores, then you better check out the new 99-cent cafe here in the Olean Mall. The owner, Brianna Parks, says the recently opened cafe is doing great so far.
If you have a buck to spare, visit the 99-cent cafe for a treat. Parks and her husband came up with the store idea because they always wanted to own a 99-cent store. She said she loves to cook, and everything they sell is food she used to make for her children. All the food at the cafe is homemade, and mostly everything is under $1. Parks says, if you know how to cook, then you know how to cook cheaply. In Olean, Ashley Masala, News Channel 25, WVTT.
I also got the chance to go to a book signing last night. The author is a 16-year-old. Her name is Cecinda Shields, who struggles with dyslexia and ADHD. She shared with me why she started writing and how she's using her influence to inspire people.
In school, they always made us write and everything, but writing became a way for me to express my emotions, and I started keeping journals and entries in it, and I just kept writing, and then with my imagination, I kind of just kept writing and got into the story, and I just started writing one day and just kept going with it.
Shields' mother also told WVTT that she is so proud of her daughter's accomplishments.
But I didn't know she could write until she showed me about 12 pages of a manuscript, and I told her, I says, you need to finish this and get it published. And she says, I've already contacted a publisher, and it was a surprise to me.
We will post the full interview on our website, twintiersnewsblog.com, and check out our Facebook and Twitter pages for how you can get your very own copy of Shields' book.
Meanwhile, Penn State is adding the names of players to football jerseys, as well as a symbol of child abuse awareness for the upcoming season. The university announced today that the changes take effect with the September 1st season opener against Ohio University. The team's generic look has long been its trademark, but officials say they're adding players' names to, quote, recognize the players' resolve and dedication. By the way, our sister radio station, 99.1 Big Bob Country, is the official Penn State Nittany Lions station. For the Twin Tiers, it's heard on 99.1 FM here in the Olean area and at 95.3 FM in Smethport.
U.S. Senator Charles Schumer hopes to keep Buffalo Bills fans still believing by keeping their hometown team here at home. Earlier this afternoon, Schumer visited Ralph Wilson Stadium to announce his plan to keep the Bills in Buffalo long term. Yesterday was opening day for the Bills preseason, and NFL analysts are predicting the Bills will have a very successful season. Talks even of making the playoffs this year. Jeff?
I guess we'll believe it when we see it, right? But never hurts to believe, right? The WVTT World News Roundup is on the way, including the very latest from Syria and another day of bloodshed in that beleaguered nation facing civil war. Details next here on WVTT.